Sidney Vizard for Rebel News here in Calgary, Alberta, to answer a question that's been looming across Canada. That is Alberta going to leave Canada's Confederation? And is the states going to play a factor in this whole debacle? Well, Carney, he was supposed to change the Liberal Party. Did he not change it?
That shit. No, we've been so stabbed in the back.
This is inevitable. The country does not work the way it's designed.
They're coming to sign an official petition with official Elections Alberta canvassers that says that we're going to have a referendum asking the question, do you agree that the province of Alberta shall cease to be part of Canada to become an independent state?
It's not just on the outskirts anymore. Alberta's independence is at the forefront here in Canada, particularly this year. A referendum is expected to take place later this year in the fall. And for the time being, groups like the Alberta Prosperity Project are going around collecting signatures from Albertans who say that they will vote for independence in this referendum. There are hundreds of thousands of signatures being collected and sought during this process and at events like this here in Calgary. Now, throughout the day, from 11 a.m. going on till probably 11 p.m. tonight, people have constantly been coming in to sign that they want to leave Canada, leaving Canada's Confederation specifically. So we got in there, we talked to some of them, and the organizer, Jeffrey Rath, of this event to find out a little bit more about what exactly is happening here in Alberta. Is it time for Alberta to leave Canada? Yes! What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here because I love Alberta, and of course I don't want to see us become any more further into a problem that Canada is already in. Because if you look at the past 10 years of Trudeau and now Carney, we're going downhill, okay? And though I'm pretty young and all that, I can see, since 2020, we've been so stabbed in the back, and not just like Alberta, but all of Canada. Seriously. So I think best thing we can do is get together and talk separation, seriously.
To get away from Ottawa and keep the money and everything here and become the wealthy country that we should have been.
Yeah. Well, we've been kind of done wrong by the Canadian government with these ridiculous equalization policies, and I feel like Alberta's been losing out on a lot of money.
We've been ripped off so many times that, I don't know, it's time that we stand up for ourselves.
We need more freedom in this country. Everything is coming down to ultimately, censorship, and our economy has plummeted, and we really do, need a bit of an independence. We need to use resources that are in the ground.
I'm fed up with Ottawa. I'm fed up with Confederation. I'm a pro-separatist, and I want to show support. I mean, I've been to a dozen of these events. I've already signed a petition, but I still want it to come out. I mean, this is an event. This is a huge event, and you don't want to miss out.
Don't tread on me. A lot of students right now work really, really hard, up to 40 to 60 hours a week, just so they can pay the bills, so they can get tuition, so they can actually make a living. You know what happens? The government comes and they take every penny out of their pockets. Well, they're already struggling. I know many students that live paycheck to paycheck where even if taxes go up even by 1%, they can't continue their education. They'll be kicked out of their program. So students want to be left alone. They're willing to put in the work. They're not lazy. I know a lot of people say a lot of bad things about young people, saying that we're lazy, but we're not. We're here to put in the work. We just want to work. Let us. We don't want the government to come in here and stop us anymore. Why are we left alone?
I'm here as press. I'm also here supporting the movement. It's time to get our Alberta back to what Alberta used to be. Where you can come here, get a job, have a family, have a safe place to stay. That's been ripped underneath our feet. So enough is enough. It's time to step up. This is one of the ways that we're doing it. We're organizing. We're getting the word out there, and hopefully this goes through, because enough is enough. We're giving billions of dollars to foreign aid, and nothing comes back to Albertans. 1 in 6 Albertans right now are having food insecurities. We can't have that. From a place that produces billions of dollars of revenue, and we have food insecurities and we are in debt. Sorry, that's not happening.
We're part of this growing movement, and we're excited to see the progress that the independence referendum has gained so far. It's been a long journey getting to this moment, and we're very proud to be part of that action and continue supporting the Alberta independence movement.
I'm here to sign the referendum like anyone else, to stand for Alberta's future, for my kids' future, and for the future of this province. And I do believe if you cannot change it or break it, Canada is not going to change for better. In time to break that relation with that Liberal government. It's not Carney's issue, it's not Trudeau's issue. It's the systems they have the issue, and regardless we change the name, the system is still there to bully us, to destroy us. And as an immigrant who came 25 years ago, I could see the dramatic change from bad to worse on a daily basis. If you would tell me 25 years ago to sign the referendum, I'll tell you what the heck are you talking about. But now I do believe we need to sign, all of us, because the pain we are facing, the challenge we are facing, especially young men and women, we need to do something to protect their future.
Firstly, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Jeffrey Rath. I'm with StayFreeAlberta.com.
And what is this event behind us?
What this event behind us is a celebration of our signing event that we had today, or it's going on downstairs. We have 150 canvassers in the bottom of the Big Four building today, running tens of thousands of Calgarians through the petition signing process and getting petitions signed. They're coming to sign an official petition with official Elections Alberta canvassers that says that we're going to have a referendum asking the question, do you agree that the province of Alberta shall cease to be part of Canada to become an independent state? We're really excited about how it's going. I was laughing today because, of course, you know, all the success that we've had with our petition signing campaign so far across the province, and literally miles of Albertans lined up into the cold January night. Poor little Tommy Lukasic today had to admit defeat. He was literally throwing the towel in at the first quarter and acknowledging that a separation referendum is inevitable. So yeah, so we're working forward with that. We obviously feel the same way. I mean, to get to 178,000 signatures, we need 11,000 signatures a week. We're crushing that. But our goal is to get well over 1 million signatures. Our feeling is if we can get 1.8 million people to sign, which were the number of people who participated in the last provincial election, I don't even think we'll need a referendum, right? I mean, that'll be all the mandate the government of Alberta will need to move directly to a declaration of independence. So, we're working forward as hard as we can to get there. If we don't, I always tell my daughter, it's like aim for the stars, and if you only get to the moon, you still accomplish more than 99.9% of the people in the world. And we're confident we're going to get the signatures we need. We're confident that we're going to get to a referendum this year, and we're confident that we're going to vote Alberta the hell out of Canada.
What is your plan to address Western alienation concerns?
Well, a couple of things. I as you know, born in Northwest Territories, grew up in Alberta. I resolved to no one in terms of my understanding of the West, my connection to the West, and I'm part of a government that governs for all of the country and very much for the West. I think such dramatic comments are unhelpful at a time when Canadians are coming together.
How much of your grievance is directed at the federal Liberal Party of Canada?
All of it.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Over 80%.
Almost all of it. Yeah, it's 10 years of disappointment.
How much we pay and how much they don't care about us at all, not just Albertans, but just all of us who have this moral value to, hey, we just want to continue on living our lives and kind of thing and keep the peace, but, that's not how they want to go.
Mark Carney is responsible for a majority of the issues that we are facing, whether it be high taxation, mass immigration, high housing prices, high grocery costs. I've gone and tried to talk to him about supply management, the issues that rural Albertans are facing, where we want to sell our milk, we can't do that. We get told that we have to throw it all away. At the end of the day, there are some issues that are obviously municipal and provincial, but a lot of them, I will say, comes from the issues of our Liberal Party, from both Mark Carney and the previous Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau, Carney, man.
Yeah, well, Carney, he was supposed to change the Liberal Party. Did he not change it?
That shit, no.
They're doing a good job of helping Alberta want to become its own independent state.
It's destroying Canada.
Well, but didn't Mark Carney bring change for the Liberal Party, and they got this MOU for Alberta? Doesn't this make you happy?
No, it does not, because it's all just paperwork. There's nothing that's going to go through. And Carney, with his belief system, he doesn't believe in pipelines. He has no problem making money off pipelines from all over the world from his investments, but he doesn't want Alberta to prosper in any way.
Bad management from Trudeau, bad management from Carney. I believe there's going to be a snap election pretty soon here in the spring. Something has to be done. Mark Carney is not living up to what he said he was going to do, and it's starting to show. Take a look at 10 cities all throughout every single major city and province. This is not Canada. Our amputations have skyrocketed in our country. Amputations, not from like, being sick, from frostbite, and good people working 2 full-time jobs, working more than 40 hours a week and sleeping in their car. So this is one of the ways for us to step up and, say, hey, federal government, enough is enough. It's time for you guys to either start cutting taxes or figuring something out because, there's too many good people that are not getting ahead. And this brain drain needs to stop.
I don't think Carney would survive the next confidence vote in the House of Commons. He has been the de facto prime minister for a year and he's done nothing. Like he campaigned on having Trump as a boogeyman. That's getting, wearing on people. And then he said he was going to get us a better deal. Now he's getting us in bed with the Chinese, which I don't think anybody wants that. In fact, he specifically said during the campaign last year that he considered China to be our biggest threat. Now he's in bed with them. That's insanity. I've seen the inequalities and how poorly Alberta is treated. And it's all because of Ottawa. It's all because of the people out east who vote. They have a huge block, and then they pass policies that they approve of without consideration for us. Like the gun grab is a perfect example. We're helpless to affect policy.
This Liberal government failed us in every level. Even the Conservative Party of Canada, once they take lead. I love Stephen Harper. He was the best prime minister, I believe. But in 2015, what did he do for us? Literally nothing. As Albertan was getting bullied, free ride for everyone. Liberal consider us oppositions. They don't give a damn about us. Conservatives, they know we're in their back pocket, so they don't give a damn about us. Both of them, they want to please Eastern Canadian. For anyone who have hesitation not to sign the referendum, let's sign as a leverage tools like Quebec. Every time Quebec wants something from Ottawa, they say, we need to separate. Here you go, take whatever you want. If we do the same, we have the leverage tools. And I'll tell you one thing, this country is going down. Carney said yesterday, it's a true statement, but he didn't say the proper fact. Yes, Canada's thrived because we're Canadian, but we're not Canadian anymore. You have over 5 million people now, their refugee claim been rejected. They're still mourning around the country all over the places with no control, no one telling them where to go, what to do. And we are paying for their health care, for their work as a taxpayer. Something needs to be done about it. Myself, I'm an immigrant, and I'm pro-immigrant. I'm pro-controlled immigrant. But this refugee banner needs to be stopped, and we need to do something about it. Liberal government is the government of everyone other than Canadian people, especially Albertan.
As an Alberta MP candidate, how will you better our province's relationship with Ottawa?
Look, I don't know if it's necessarily bettering the relationship with Ottawa. I think it's standing up and fighting for Alberta. Ottawa's been telling Alberta to pay up and shut up for the last 10 years, and we need someone who will stand up and fight back against that attitude. And that's what I'm going to do. The West needs to have fair treatment in Confederation. That means giving our farmers fair treatment. In this trade war, for example, Mr. Carney said nothing and did nothing for the canola farmers until I spoke up about it. Yesterday I went out and said, look, it's been days now since the Chinese have announced this new tariff on canola farmers. The Prime Minister had said nothing, even though he'd managed to put out a tweet on International Cat Day. And what do you know, later that afternoon, he said, okay, I'm going to do something on canola. Well, that shows that having a strong national leader amplifying the concerns of local residents in Battle River Crowfoot will be a major advantage. So you can count on me to use my megaphone as leader to fight for oil and gas workers in Hardisty, in Camrose, Consort, Coronation, Castor, and beyond. You can count on me to fight for the prison guards here in Drumheller, who are facing death every day from the chaos in the prisons that Liberals have unleashed. You can count on me to fight for the farmers. So having a Pierre Poilievre fight for this region in Canada's Parliament as leader of the party will be an enormous advantage for the people.
The Federal Conservative Party of Canada is going to be having their event at the same Stampede venue at the end of the week.
Don't get me started on that.
Well, is there not a hope that they can turn this ship around?
No. We're beyond that. I mean, it's a 158-year-old experiment that has failed. We have had numerous attempts. If the Conservatives were to elect somebody like Pierre, it might slow down, delay the inevitable, but that's all it's going to do. This is inevitable. The country does not work the way it's designed.
I don't believe any government in Ottawa has the courage to tackle the fundamental problems with Confederation, whether it's the federal Conservative Party or the federal Liberal Party. Both parties rely on the vast majority of their votes from both Ontario and Quebec. And so I'm not sure that either party, and we've seen this historically, neither party is willing to tackle equalization. Neither party is willing to tackle the disparity in representation. So we are in a fight of frankly taxation without representation in the Senate and in Parliament.
I've become a little bit jaded. I don't think any party would help us at this point in time. You can't change the way things are set up now. It doesn't matter if it's Conservatives or Liberals are in power.
Well, Stephen Harper can make anything happen. Pierre won't.
Yeah. Well, and
can't do it.
They have to kowtow to the people down east to get the votes.
Yeah.
They know they got our votes already. So, and I heard that Paul Revere is changing his what's the word? He's wherever he got elected here. He's moving it down east now.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to get away from us.
I am a Conservative, so I would hope that they would get in, but I'm not sure. So I think that we have to go for independence, right? To save Canada, really.
They've done so much, and if you look at Danielle Smith, honestly, she's done so much good for this province. She's made it illegal for, of course, children to have puberty blockers, which I'm a big fan of, and of course, she's spoken against a lot of things that a lot of other provinces have not, and that our federal government has refused to. Instead, they just like to put on this facade and think, oh, I'm doing the best I can, but no, so I think the Conservatives can definitely do a lot better than they are.
Is there even the opportunity of them coming into power still? I mean, to what extent does democracy still exist in Canada? That's also a question, right? I feel like if it was to happen that Conservatives did come into power, I mean, maybe Alberta can receive more, support from the federal government. I mean, we're hated upon in Ottawa.
The Conservative Party of Canada, which is going to be having an event at the end of this week in the building behind us.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're talking about a snap election that might be coming this year, presumably before a referendum.
Yeah.
Is this the last chance the Conservatives have to snatch it from the Liberal Party of Canada?
You know what? I think it's already been done. I don't think it's the last chance. I think it's done. I think if you take a look what happened with Pierre Poilievre with the longest ballot committee, right? You take a look at the games that they played in this last election. I think people are going to vote even more this time. Yeah, I mean, the guy got 2 million votes, right? And I've been talking to delegates, folks like my good friend Kevin Dick, talking to good people that are going to be at that convention, and they are fired behind Pierre Poilievre. They're ready to go. And Pierre is my man. I support that guy 110%. I have his back, and I'm always there for him. So I support the UCP and also Premier Smith.
Absolutely not. Maybe people don't know this, but they're actually hosting their own rally right now to try to shift people away from this event. Right now, as we speak, Danielle Smith, Jamil Javani, and 5 Conservative MPs are at the University of Calgary right now trying to shift people away from this event to their event. It was actually supposed to happen on the 28th, but they switched it just because of this event happening today. So the elite, the people that are from Ottawa that are here to try to take away our rights, our money, our land, they're not here for us. They don't represent me. There's Conservative members that I would love to see part of our movement. I mean, many of our members are. I'm a libertarian. They say that they're libertarians. At the end of the day, they will join us as they see as we are bigger. We represent the people, and this is ultimately what we want for Alberta.
And in one hand, we have the Federal Liberal Party of Canada here, and they've made a recent deal with China. Carney's going down this New World Order path.
Mine is the first visit of a Canadian Prime Minister to China in nearly a decade. The world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
But on the other hand, we have President Donald Trump in the United States seemingly inviting of the notion of Alberta separating and leaving Canada to become its own state.
Alberta is a wealth of natural resources, but they won't let them build a pipeline to the Pacific. I think we should let them come down into the U.S., and Alberta is a natural partner for the U.S. They have great resources. The Albertans are very independent people. Rumors that they may have a referendum on whether they want to stay in Canada or not.
Sounds like you may know something up there.
people are saying, people are talking. People are talking. People want sovereignty. They want what the U.S. has got.
Where does the United States fit into this equation?
Well, I mean, we've been to Washington, D.C. 3 times now. Every time we've been told by U.S. officials that we're meeting with that the United States is enthusiastically in support of Alberta independence. And the reason is simple. I mean, if you read the U.S. national security strategy and you read, you understand where they're coming from, they don't want the third largest oil field in the world controlled by the communist Chinese. We know that Carney's government is infiltrated with Chinese agents. It almost looks like Carney's a Chinese agent. New world order. I'm just surprised that he didn't flash his little Illuminati symbol like he always does while he was saying new world order in China, right? So, that's what we're voting to get away from. We don't want to be we don't want to be controlled by the Chinese communists. We have friends, family, business partners in the United States of America. We're very comfortable with our relationship with the United States. We want to improve that relationship. We don't want to be governed by a moron that literally threatens war with the United States when he comes back to visit Canada, after his, after returning to China to get orders from his Chinese communist masters in Beijing, et cetera, et cetera. So, we're moving forward and, we're really, really happy with how it's going.
I respect the United States, our big brothers. Over 70% of our trademark goes between us and the United States. How far could we go without the United States? I can guarantee you no far. We have NORAD system, F-18, F-15, F-35 coming this year, I heard, to Cold Lake, Alberta, because of the United States. Who's closer to us? Your neighbor better than your brother. And our neighbor is the United States. I believe Carney is failing and they have a bigger agenda they are following. They're not putting the interests of Canadians, especially Alberta, in the first place. They did fail in the past and they will fail again and again. Something needs to be done. And again, I'll tell you one thing. I don't believe Americans are pushing us to sign the referendum. I didn't get any phone call from anyone to go and sign. I'm doing it because I see the bullying, I see the system failure. Like for 25 years, every Canadian newborn kid has $18,000 deficit debt in his name just the second he was born. Why? Because the liberal government sent him billion and billion of dollars all over the universe. The last one thing I need to talk, $22 billion to Ukraine while you and I are struggling. We have veterans off the street not having a place to live in. Something needs to be done about this. You know what? I believe our best ally as American, United States, and we need to stay in good relation with them. Carney is stupid to make that statement and to poke the bear, because I'll tell you one thing, he won't live too far and he won't live too long, because you cannot live without United States. This is a reality. 35 million people cannot overcome 300 million people, and this is something we need to pay attention to.
I don't think the United States has much influence on the movement. I think the actions of the Ottawa government under the Mark Carney government and the WEF have a lot of influence, though, because when you look at the alliances that Ottawa is trying to make, cozying up to China, I think if Albertans have a choice between our number one trading partner in the United States and a relationship with China, I can tell you where the vast majority of Albertans are going to side with. We share a lot more in common with our friends and relatives in Montana and Idaho than we do in Ontario and Quebec.
It's one of Canada's biggest partners, so like about 75% of Canada's trade gets done with the US. And then if you break that down, a really big chunk of that is Alberta based. I mean, the oil that we send, the minerals, lumber, stuff like that. So we currently have a huge trade with the US, and that's all it is. I mean, people that say the Americans are interfering, no, they're not interfering. They know that we're a reliable partner, and they're watching closely.
The Liberal government is doing a failed job at actually partnering up with China, and I think that is why we're going so much further down this hole. Forgive my language. Now, look, we just got 100% tariffs, and that's a clear sign that it's time for us to separate, because we don't want to be going down that rabbit hole.
Ultimately, if we were to gain independence, we would have an opportunity to, potentially enter the States. And what that does is really makes us 1.5 times richer overnight. And he wants to get into our oil and use our resources, continue to, create prosperity for Albertans. That's the ultimate goal. And I'm not sure why anyone would be against that.
What's happening isn't good with the tariffs, but at the same time, I don't think that us being within Canada or Alberta want to be controlled by China or Russia or anywhere like that. The U.S. has been our allies for many years, and so, they're the ones that are going to protect us if anything happens. So I don't know. I think that they play an important part, but at the same time, like with what's happening with the Liberals, it's just horrific.
As Pierre was pointing out, it's crazy to see how Carney is kind of giving Donald Trump these pressure points. I mean, he's genuinely causing these issues as well, and I think when we're right beside an economic giant such as the U.S. that is causing a lot of turmoil, and it's not on the best. It's not in the best interest to continue on kind of biting at them. And then, especially when Carney has most of his funds in U.S. U.S. companies, and his portfolio consists of mostly U.S. stocks, right?
The U.S. told Mark Carney, Justin Trudeau, then Mark Carney, get your borders in check, because people are coming here to Canada, not finding a career opportunity. So they're leaving, they're getting caught on deer cams in the other side of the border. Get your borders in check, stop the fentanyl, right? If we're not building a small amount of fentanyl. We have major super labs throughout every single part of our country. Those need to be stopped, right? The U.S. has had enough. They've lost 300,000 people. They are pointing fingers, obviously, at Mexico and at Canada. He hasn't done it. He hasn't stepped up and done it. I don't think he has the budget. And Premier Smith has stepped up. She got strong on the borders. Same with Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan even stepped up and got strong on the borders. But it's for Mr. Carney, I don't think he understands it. And at the end of the day, that's more money than our farming, our mill industry. Those folks don't pay carbon tax. They don't pay any CPP. It's pure liquid cash going into our housing industry, which is a fact, by the way. But that's just it, right? We're going to do the right thing and let our voices be heard and use the power of the pen.
Alberta has gotten a lot of support from the United States. I've seen a lot of American influencers talk on both Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I've seen a lot of them post on Instagram. Boosting some of our people to make sure that we're actually well known, that we're not just smaller groups, that we can reach a larger audience. That's what I've seen a majority of: boosting content, boosting PR, boosting availability, our reach. That's what I've seen, and I want to keep seeing more of them do that.
Let me push back on that for a second. A lot of the left-leaning people in Canada would say, "Oh, this is more of a fringe movement. There aren't that many of you." What do you say to that? Is it truly a small voice? As you said, getting a larger audience doesn't necessarily mean a larger support base that's actually going to vote for independence.
Well, I'll say two things. Number one, take a look around. Look at all the people that showed up today. I was at the Queensland event as well, too. Almost 2,000 people just showed up to an event that no one marketed for. People want independence. And I represent UFC for the independence movement. I'm trying to get as many people as we can to come out to this event and to support independence. And right now, we have over 1,200 members just on the UFC campus alone that support independence. I don't consider that a small number. For a youth group, that's massive. And we're only going to get bigger as the movement keeps getting bigger and the campaign keeps going farther.
We've had over 6,000 RSVPs for this event tonight. So that's why we moved into the Big Four building from the BMO Center, because we'd already outgrown the hall that we were supposed to be in at the BMO Center. It's now 20 minutes after 6, and the hall's already half full. So we're confident that that we're going to be full tonight. We're going to have 6,000 enthusiastic Albertans, enthusiastic Calgarians out in support of Alberta independence, and we're thrilled about it.
And last word to you.
Oh, well, thank you guys for coming out. We always appreciate support from Rebel News, and it's always great to see you guys here. So thank you guys for coming out, and thanks for following us.
It seems to be the case that despite the Federal Liberal Party of Canada advocating for a unified country, the proof is in the pudding. Now that Prime Minister Mark Carney has been leading the reins for the last few months, again under this Liberal banner, we still see it hasn't gone down. The sentiment in Alberta for independence has only gone up. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Alberta is finally going to separate from Canada's Confederation? Let me know in the comments. For Rebel News, I'm Sidney Fizzard. IndependenceReports.com is where you have to go if you want to support our independent journalism. Boots on the ground coverage of events that matter, like this, at IndependenceReports.com.